Manish Pushkale, modern and contemporary artist, India, born 1973. Manish Pushkale is one of the highly regarded young painters of India today. Pushkale, a trained geologist, developed a language of abstraction that carries his imprint, despite having no academic training in art but a powerful and sensitive initiative into it. Pushkale's art is inextricably related to mythology and folklore, without making overt references to it. A subdued color palette lends a lingering calm to his works, and upon closer examinations, the motifs and symbolism reveal multi-layered meaning. The method of applying and wiping off paint tangibly invokes complex meditation on asceticism, worldliness, renunciation, sensuality, presence, absence, dying, rebirth, and so on. Pushkale was a recipient of the S.H. Raza Foundation Award in 2003. His solo shows include Serendipitous Encounters at Icon, Palo Alto in 2009, unveiling at Bodhi Art Mumbai in 2007 and Japa at Bodhi Art New Delhi in 2006. His work has also been featured as part of several group exhibitions.
My name is Manish Pushkale. I am born, brought up in Bhopal. Bhopal is a city and a state capital of a state known as Madhya Pradesh. So, born in a very normal middle class Jain family. Uh, my forefathers came from much deeper areas of the Madhya Pradesh, but because my father was a government servant and my mother was, so we got shifted to Bhopal. So I'm born, brought up there. My education happened there only. I did my master's degree in geology. So I am here sitting in the capacity of a painter, but I am not an educated artist. I am in Hindi. There is a wonderful word to explain it. I say in my introduction that I am not a Shikshit, I am Dikshit. And I say it with a very personal rational in the logic, because one great thing happened in Bhopal in 1982. One of the great institution known as Bharat Bhavan, it came in existence. It is still there. It is a multi-arts complex which has in-housed almost all the art forms. So there was the visual art, there was the literature, poetry, classical music, theatre. In every form the art was existing. Ceramics. It is also first museum where the urban and the tribal artists were showed together, are in-house together. So this discrimination which existed in art field between the urban and the tribal was the first time being questioned. Also interesting part of this institution is that on one side it is a museum by character, whereas on the other hand it is an institution by its definition and by its property. So I say myself that I am more a result of an institution. I am Shikshit from the institution rather than, I am Dikshit from the institution rather than Shikshit from an art college. So I was saying that I did my masters in geology. I left half of my PhD in the paleontology, which is the science of the fossils, area of my interest. So this is my educational background, and then at the same time I was like every child is, I was since from my childhood was inclined towards drawing and painting, but because the family background was not about was not about the artistic activities or any kind of such kind of activities in home. It was more in house of the chartered accountants. So I am the first one who break the path, and this journey of breaking the path is still going on. So, let me say more about this institution and the place where I belong to, which is Bhopal. That on the left hand side of the Bhopal, which is on the south of Bhopal, 40 kilometers is a famous, world famous heritage site. It is known as Bhimbetka, which is known for the prehistoric rock caves. Whereas on the 40 kilometers north is another important site, which is a historic site. It is known as Sanchi, very important place from the Buddhist followers. So, and the institution in Bhopal, Bharat Bhavan, it is very modern institution, came in existence in 1982. So, now if we see this whole orchestration in a retrospective manner, so I can say that I belong to a place whose modernity on one side is being bracketed by the historicity, whereas on the other side it's been bracketed by the prehistoricity. So my modernity is very different, and this institution, which is existing on the verge of north and south Bhopal, which is also on the verge of uh, new and old Bhopal, which is also on the verge of one side of the Bhopal is dominated by the Hindus, other side of the Bhopal is dominated by the Muslims. So there are many kind of equidistances, many kind of transactions which are, and many kind of cross sections which are passing through this center. I am a result of this center. It is a center of the plurality. Somehow I have gained my identity as an important abstract painter. But abstraction is not the style. It is one way of painting. Good painting is good painting. It is realistic, it is abstract, figurative, whatever. If it is producing rasa, if you are able to create your language of your own aesthetics, that's important. The the art school you belong to, the institution you belong to, they play an important role. As I said that I belong to a center which is a center of the multiple cross sections. The kind of genre which emerged from that center is very abstract centric genre. In music, it is a center of Dhrupad. In dance, it is a center of Kathak. In visual art, it is a center of the abstract paintings. So in poetry, it is a center of a very modern abstract poetry. The literature, the writers this place has produced, they are not just the narrative writers. They are more the writers of, writers of parikrama, in which one thought is there and you revolve around it, and then slowly you, in that revolving or in that revolvement, you slowly evolve with the language. So this is a center of the evolution of many kind of paces, and abstraction is in the center of it. So I'm a painter who does abstraction. Let me come to this point. I mean, otherwise it sounds very vague. What does it mean? So the whole emphasis is on that there are two kind of seeings. One is the way we see the world through our eyes and we try to paint it. Second is that you see the world, you experience it, and then you try to create the form of the experience. In both the senses, the worldly experience, the worldly sense is there, but the language of the interpretation changes. So I belong to a school which gives more an emphasis on the organicity rather than the narrative linearity. No, it was not the turmoil. Actually, everything was going on very well, but at one point one has to take the decisions. And I came to the cross section of my life when I was really on a stage where it was the high time of my life, where you have to choose between the two. And it happens sometimes that when you get this opportunity from life to choose between the two, if you miss it, you miss it. I simply decided that now I will not continue with this education which I was going through, and I will come to the art practice directly. This has helped me because I never been to any art school, so that hunger about art history is still alive in me, and I uh, still try my best to keep myself literate, because to me the literacy is a continuous process. It has nothing to do just with the achievement of one degree. Life is meant for learning, and I want to remain as a student of art. I never want to be the teacher of art. Yes, I'm influenced by many, and I think that this can be taken as a point of my sensitivity. I am glad that many people have influenced me. I am a result of the contribution of many. There are some musicians, dancers, painters, writers. They all have contributed a lot in my organic and in my constitution. We are made by others. I am for surely in my clarities, and I try my best to keep my others alive in me. Well, the initial process is a process of struggle which is meant for everyone. But in 1996, I moved from Bhopal to Delhi, and it is like drifting yourself from your comfort zone to the zone of the challenges. There was no one in Delhi as my mentor. There was no friend, nothing. It's as simple as that, that you can't, learn swimming without jumping into the water. So I just jumped. And at one point, I had some internal light in me that what I am doing is right. Let me die, in the dry land of my satisfaction. It is, I don't know if I have reached the point, because the point is continuously shifting. The few things which I wanted to achieve 15 years ago, they are no more my target now. So the point of lust, they continuously moves ahead of you. And till the moment I am getting those lustful points, I am alive. Now, what this lust means? This lust is very important for an artist, because it is not. I am not talking about. I am not talking about lust in its negative sense. I am talking about creating impossible goals for yourself. Slowly, slowly, they you become the alchemist of converting impossible into possible. So now the targets are different, aims are different, because with time I am more experienced. With time, the time has made me more wiser in one sense. The experience has made me more wiser. The world is now more open. So we can see, in my initial days, there was no internet, there was no phone. I educated myself through the books in library. Right now, the source and the resources of educating yourself are much wider, and in this wider sense of information, and in this wider, continuously widening zone of exposures, the challenges which I see, the targets which I establish, and the everyday mottos of my life, they are continuously growing, changing, and I don't want them to be stagnant. That keeps me on move. I am see, the artist is always looking for the sense of success in the eyes of artists is something else. In my initial days, I was thinking about my financial freedom. Fortunately, luckily, I got it. Before that, I was looking for my identity, let people recognize me. I got it. Now, I am not looking for the monetary gain. Now, I am not looking for identity, but I am looking for my relevance. The work which I am doing through my art is something, and I am really looking for the relevance of my life. This is much bigger a target than my pre-targets. I don't know what I am going to gain. I don't know what I am going to achieve. But at least to remain on the right path, I definitely will gain satisfaction of it. That's the most precious thing. They are selling is the another aspect. It is, of course, is very, very important, and uh, that that kind of success, market oriented or market centric success, is also important. But the real satisfaction exists when you are working, when I am in my painting process. That's the biggest first satisfaction. Rest is the side effect of it. Rest is a result of it. Yes, yes, both the things happen. Sometimes, the buyers who used to come or the visitors who are coming to my shows, they are sometimes well read, well informed. But sometimes there are naive people also comes who are not aware of that and they wonder about it. So it is my responsibility to navigate them in a right manner. And I do that. I do that very often. And I have converted many, individuals, from the different art, from the different fields. Like some of the doctors, they are the top post doctors of the country right now. Around 15 years back, I provoked them to buy one painting of 4,000 rupee. And recently, he has purchased a painting of 4 crore rupee. So, in 10 years, it is a journey from 4,000 to 4 crore, which is great. And I have given I try my best to not only to educate them, but also make them wise by giving right light on how should they invest in art. After all, it's an investment also. We can't take it granted. So, how that investment works, what the right portfolio should be, what should they buy. I never take the name or never force them, but I try to read their area of the interests. Then I slowly showed them the direction of, that direction where their prevailing interest can match with the nature or the character of the works. My intention is to, if they are coming with the intention to buy an artwork, then it is my responsibility to give them the right counsel. And I have always done that and I've got a fantastic result. Indian collectors' base is now slowly widening. And there are a lot many new people are coming with their interest in art, not only as the art collector, not only as the art admirer, but now the latest group of the people are there who are thinking about making new museums. So this all is good because India is a huge country. It's a country of every state is like one European country. And when you go to Europe, you see museums even in small villages. So we are still looking for that kind of infrastructure, but things are changing, and I'm sure that in coming 25-30 years, you will see many new museums, and that too of the world-class museums. That's forgery. See, this is not new. It always happens. If you see in West, there are many artworks of Picasso or you name any celebrity artist. The fake industry emerges with the success of the artist. So it's a part of the game. But fortunately, in India, it is not that freely done. People are more looking for the original artworks, and they are buying it. This always happens. This always happens. I haven't experienced it so far. It means I am not that famous still. I have to work hard to have my fakes in the market. Long way to go. No, original is original, fake is fake. Those, they can fake the signature and the style, but they cannot fake the temperament. Let me tell you one thing, that the fakers make better painting than the artists, because their intention is not to create, their intention is to copy. So this difference will always remain. Now it is upon the collectors to develop, to educate themselves in such a deeper manner so that they can't be fooled. It is already there. People are continuously going through. Now there are lot many scientific processes also to find out the difference between the original and the fake. We are not living in 80s. We are living in, in 21st century, 2022. Now there are many scientific ways to track it out easily. And the whole system, the professional mannerism is also changing. The kind of documentation which every artist do now, it was not there before. And the gallery system. If you are dealing with a gallery, So whatever you are producing, the gallery is taking care of its archivals and documenting it properly, wheresoever the work is going, keeping the track on the work, where it was exiting. So there is a good track record of each and every work. The provenances are always been updated. So I don't think it is going to be, with the technical assistance, scientific assistance, and with the proper archival documentation things, it can survive very well. Well, Mrs. Surbhi Chaudhary, I met her a few months back through one of our common friend, and she introduced me about Unnati Cultural Village, and I really got very curious about it, because this is looking something very beautiful, very unique. And then I was invited here before to come and to see and to get a feel of it. So I came, and that's how in conversation this whole idea of starting artist in residency came in existence. So we are here now, and this is an interesting beginning, and I am sure we are going to go very far, because we both mutually, from the Raza Foundation and from the Chaudhary Foundation, we mutually are trying to create a new cultural corridor. But I will say the emergence of new corridor between two brothers, a new corridor of culture. It is fantastic. It is wonderful. Idea of residency is not new to me. I've been to some of the best residencies of the world, but there I was there as a participant artist. Here I am not only as a participant artist, but also as the co-organizer of the residency. So I am here with my additional capacity here. Experience is very good. We are learning many things, and we definitely will bring the lot many new fountains of the new energy to this land. It is the culture which can solve many things. So our emphasis is on culture, our emphasis on the self-sustainable concepts, because that's very, very important, and also to create the new grounds of recognition for the artists of Nepal. So Nepal is in a great time right now, but at the same time there are many kind of challenges. So keeping the challenges in mind, keeping the dream and the goal intact, we are here with our first effort, and all the artists are happy. We are going back with the great satisfaction and with the new ideas to uplift it more. See, I am one of the trustee of the Raza Foundation, and Raza, one of the most important painter, one of the celebrity painter of India, one of the member of the Progressive Artist Group. So he made one foundation from his own money. It is a small foundation. We 5-6 people run it, but the work which we do, I mean, it is on the pan India level, and it's really a great work we are doing. So when I met Surbhi ji, and she also tracked the Raza Foundation a bit, and she was really impressed by this. And then we thought that she is having one foundation here, they have the infrastructure, we have a one foundation there who has the vision. So idea was to how to infuse these two entities and create one collaborative common platform for art and culture of these two zones. Yes, yes. I just want to say to all my Nepali artist friends that this is a time to understand the great challenges around you. On the one side, we have China. On the other side, you have India. So these two great civilizations, two great countries, you are surrounded by. But you have to maintain your identity. Never get swayed here or there. The artistic identity, you have to fight for your own creative language. Nepal is a very beautiful, very promising country, and a country of the great civilization. So but also at the same time we share our history altogether. Our association is an association made by our ancestors. We got few values from our ancestors. This is a time for us to create some contemporary values for our coming generations. Number one. Number two, that every country, they have their own distinctive cultural language. When you see Japan, when you see Korea, when you see Sri Lanka, or when you see Pakistani artists, their country remains in their work. You have to create the new contemporary language of your country. That's so important. Never behave like Chinese artists, never behave like Indian artists. Be Nepali. Number three, once upon a time in 18th century, the center of the art was in Europe. 18th, 19th century. 20th century, the center of art was in America. Now this is a time of Asia. Are we prepared for it? You have to think on these lines. Prepare yourself. Artist is meant for the big responsibilities. Are you prepared for the big responsibilities?